Bring your curiosity. Let's see where it leads.
Season 2, Episode 1. The Reset Paradox. The Spark. So here's something I've been thinking about. We treat January like it's this magical reset button. A blank sheet of paper, a shiny glass window, whatever. A whole new us. But is it really? When the confetti hits the floor and everyone goes home, it's still just you standing there. Same brain, same habits, same hopes you've been dragging around since last year. Maybe January isn't a new beginning. Maybe it's more like a reflection. A reminder of what we've already been carrying. Anyway, that's been rolling around in my head. Let's just sit with it for a minute. Lighthouse. Hey, I'm Sam. Welcome back to EccentricAloof. Each week, we dive into ideas, stories, and moments that make us stop, think, and maybe see ourselves a little differently. Today, we're talking about resets. The ones we chase every January. The hope we cling to, and the reality that change, well, it's rarely instant. Think of this as your lighthouse moment. A steady point to orient yourself before we dive into reflections, stories, and the bigger questions about what starting over really means. Take a breath, or hey, sip your coffee while you're at it. Let's poke around this reset button and see what it actually says about us. Reflection pool. I don't think it's a bad thing to be hopeful. To want to improve, try small changes that matter. Eating a little healthier, moving more, building stronger relationships, being a kinder parent, or just being a kinder version of yourself. It all counts. Here's the thing. You don't need January for that. You can start anytime. Every day is a chance to get a little closer to the person you want to be. And by that, I don't mean suddenly becoming a completely different personality. I'm still me. Quirks, habits, all of it. Sure, some days I act more organized or more outgoing when I need to, but it's still me. INFP 415. Growth doesn't erase who we are. It just layers on new skills, patience, and perspective. Take me, for example. Over the past couple of years, I've been trying to stick to a creative habit I care about, recording and producing my podcast every week. Some weeks, I nail it, and I feel unstoppable. Other weeks, it feels like I barely started. And that's the point. Progress isn't a reset button. It's a journey. Every step counts. When the confetti settles and the noise fades, it's still you standing there. Not a new you, not a perfect version, just all the versions you've ever been. Wins, fails, habits you've built, habits you've lost, moments you're proud of, and the ones you'd rather forget. They're all part of the same story. Your story. Maybe being better isn't about rewriting yourself. Maybe it's about layering hope, keeping curiosity alive, and recognizing that all these pieces, messy, stubborn, real, are still yours. You're still you. Always you. Just someone willing to show up, even when it's hard. Even when it feels small. Someone willing to hope again. Deep cuts. Step back for a second. The idea of a fresh start is both comforting and kind of strange. Philosophers have wrestled with this tension forever. The push between who we are and who we want to become. Sartre talked about radical freedom, the idea that we create ourselves, moment by moment, through our choices. Every day is a chance to start over, but not by magically becoming someone new, by choosing again and again how we show up. William James had a similar take. Beliefs and habits shape us, and tiny decisions repeated over time create transformation. Not a calendar flip or confetti explosion, a quiet accumulation of choice. And Nietzsche, he throws the philosophical spotlight in a whole other direction with eternal recurrence. Basically, if you had to relive your life exactly as it is, every choice, mistake, joy, habit, over and over forever, would you say yes? It's a mirror, a way of asking, what choices today would you be okay repeating? What patterns do you want to break? What moments do you want more of? Even I fall into the trap. Looking at a new year as a chance to be a better me. Fitter, calmer, kinder, more organized. Then remembering I've already made progress. Some days I'm unstoppable. Other days, I'm a potato. And both are okay. Camus would say that tension between who we are and who we want to be is exactly the point. Identity isn't a reset button. It's a collection of choices, experiences, habits, and small acts of hope over time. Ripples. Here's my question. If progress isn't about flipping a calendar, what does starting over actually mean to you? Have you ever tried a reset on a random Tuesday and realized it's not about becoming someone new, but layering onto the version of you that already exists? I'd love to hear your stories, the small steps that mattered, the moments you surprised yourself, or just kept showing up when it felt impossible. Share the wins, the struggles, the lessons. Like ripples in a pond, your experiences echo, and someone else might need to hear them. So, what's one thing you've been carrying from last year? A lesson, a habit, or even a struggle that you want to carry forward with intention? And how are you going to show up a little differently today? This stage. Now, let's step onto the stage for a moment. Stories, art, media, they help us see our lives in a new light. Like Groundhog Day, Bill Murray relives the same day over and over. At first, it's punishment. But slowly, he learns growth isn't about sudden perfection. It's about small choices repeated over time. One of my favorites, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Joel and Clementine try to erase each other, start fresh, and end up in similar patterns. Wiping the past away doesn't work. Growth comes from embracing the layers. It's a Wonderful Life. George Bailey learns his life matters, even with mistakes. Starting over isn't erasing the past. It's acknowledging its value. Music tells that story too. Second chances, finding yourself, the quiet arcs of change. That's why New Year resets feel so compelling. We all live with this tension, wanting change while carrying our past selves. Last light. As we wind down, here's what I want you to take away. Real change doesn't come from a date on the calendar. It comes from showing up, again and again, in small ways. You're not a new you, you're the same you. Carrying victories, failures, lessons, and hope. And that's enough. Progress isn't sudden. It's layering effort, curiosity, and kindness over the person you've always been. This year, instead of chasing a reset, notice the ripples of your choices. Tiny acts of hope, patience, care. Imperfect moments where you still show up. When the confetti settles and the noise fades, it's still you. A little older, a little wiser, carrying all the versions of yourself that brought you here. And somehow, that's enough to start again. Even the smallest shifts you make today are part of the same story you've been writing all along. This has been EccentricAloof. I'm Sam. Thanks for being here.